Tomorrow marks a solemn anniversary. 20 years ago, on October 8, 2005, the ground beneath northern Pakistan and Azad Kashmir began to violently shake. At 8:50 in the morning, a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.6 struck the region. It was a moment that lasted just over a minute, but its impact would echo for decades. Many people were just starting their day. Children were in their classrooms, families were having breakfast, shopkeepers were opening their stores. No one was prepared for the sheer force that was about to be unleashed from deep within the earth. This was not just a tremor, it was a cataclysmic event that would redefine the landscape and the lives of millions forever. The epicenter of this massive quake was near Muzaffarabad, the capital of Azad Kashmir. The shaking was so intense that it was felt across Pakistan and in neighboring countries like India and Afghanistan. For those at the heart of the disaster, the experience was terrifying and disorienting. The world seemed to fall apart. Buildings crumbled like sandcastles, roads split open, mountainsides gave way to thunderous landslides. The morning calm was shattered by the roar of collapsing structures and the cries of those trapped beneath them. It was a moment of pure chaos and fear, a sudden and brutal reminder of nature's immense power, leaving an entire generation with scars both visible and unseen. It struck a densely populated region, home to vibrant communities nestled in the Himalayan foothills. Towns like Balakot and Muzaffarabad, once bustling with life, were reduced to ruins in an instant. The timing, a Saturday morning during the holy month of Ramadan, meant many families were together at home. While some were spared by not being at work, entire families were caught in collapsing houses. The scale of the tragedy was almost impossible to comprehend in those first few hours, as communication lines were down, and access to the affected areas was completely cut off. People who escaped immediately began digging through the rubble with their bare hands, desperately searching for loved ones. With no emergency services or machinery at first, the air was thick with dust and the sounds of grief. The aftermath of the earthquake revealed a scene of almost total devastation. The numbers alone are staggering. Official estimates confirmed that over 87,000 people lost their lives. That number remains a deep wound in the nation's memory. More than 138,000 were injured. Many injuries were life-altering. An estimated 3.5 million people were left homeless. No shelter, no food, no clean water. And winter was approaching. Entire towns were wiped off the map. Balakot was so completely destroyed the government declared it a red zone and relocated the community. In Muzaffarabad, nearly 80% of buildings collapsed. Schools and hospitals became death traps. Over 17,000 schools were destroyed, and more than 19,000 children were killed in their classrooms. This loss of a generation left a void still felt today. For survivors, life became a daily struggle. Families were torn apart. Parents lost children, and children became orphans. The psychological trauma was immense and widespread. Everyone knew someone who had been killed or injured. The landscape itself became a source of fear. Hundreds of aftershocks brought fresh waves of panic. Roads and bridges were severed by landslides, isolating valleys. For many remote villages, helicopters became the only lifeline in hazardous mountain weather. Amidst the horror, incredible stories of human courage and resilience began to emerge. Ordinary people became heroes, working tirelessly to save others. They used shovels, pickaxes, and often just their bare hands to dig through concrete and steel, guided by faint cries beneath the debris. One young man in Muzaffarabad dug for 2 full days to rescue his younger sister, refusing to give up hope. His determination paid off. She was injured, but alive. Children showed remarkable bravery. Older siblings shielding and comforting the younger through terrifying hours. Hania, 9 years old, survived more than 50 hours under her school by drinking rainwater that dripped through the rubble. Her story became a powerful symbol of hope for the entire nation. Medical professionals performed heroic acts, working around the clock in makeshift clinics with few supplies. They performed surgeries in tents, treated thousands, and labored for days without sleep. Splinting fractures, dressing wounds. Even in the darkest moments, people shared what little they had and built shelters together. A village elder created lists of the missing and coordinated searches, restoring order and purpose amid chaos. The scale was so immense it was clear Pakistan could not handle the crisis alone. The government launched a massive rescue and relief operation, soldiers deployed to help search, rescue, and clear roads against daunting terrain and shattered infrastructure. The international community mounted one of the largest humanitarian efforts in history, Help poured in from around the globe. Search and rescue teams arrived with specialized equipment and sniffer dogs from the United Kingdom, Turkey, Japan, and the United States, working alongside Pakistani teams, racing against time to find survivors. International agencies established field hospitals and distributed emergency supplies, tents, blankets, food, and clean water. Foreign aid workers, soldiers, and Pakistani citizens labored side by side. Donations flooded in from individuals, corporations, and community groups. People organized fundraisers, collected warm clothing, and sent messages of support. Helicopters became the backbone of the operation, airlifting the injured and delivering aid to isolated communities. U.S. Chinooks were crucial in reaching remote villages. The World Food Program organized massive food networks, yet needs were immense and terrain and weather challenged every delivery. Still, the combined local and international response saved thousands of lives and provided a critical lifeline to millions. The journey from relief to reconstruction has been long and arduous. Once rescue ended, rebuilding began, not just structures but entire communities and their hope. With international support, Pakistan established ERA to oversee a Build Back Better program. Safer, more resilient construction. Housing was top priority. ERA provided financial assistance and technical guidance so families could rebuild to earthquake-resistant standards. Walk through Muzaffarabad and Balakot today. You can see the results. New buildings have reinforced frames and safety features, in stark contrast to the mud and stone that failed in 2005. Thousands of safer schools and upgraded hospitals have been built, with better classrooms, libraries, and science labs, improving access to care and education. The landscape has been transformed. Scars remain, a twisted rebar, a memorial, the old Balakot site, but the region has been reborn. New roads improved connectivity, markets bustle, communities re-established. There were funding gaps and delays, yet the overall achievement is remarkable, a testament to the people's resilience and the power of cooperation. The 2005 earthquake was a brutal teacher, but it delivered invaluable lessons. Pakistan established the National Disaster Management Authority in 2007 to plan, coordinate, monitor, prepare, mitigate, respond, and recover. Public awareness grew, especially in high-risk areas. Schools conduct regular drills teaching children to drop, cover, and hold on. TV and radio PSAs spread the word. Community programs train volunteers in search and rescue, first aid, and evacuation. Updated, strengthened building codes address past failures. The challenge is strict enforcement across all construction. It requires trained professionals and robust inspection and certification systems. Pakistan improved its seismic monitoring, enabling faster detection and assessment to trigger swift emergency response. Geological surveys and hazard maps guide safer land use, steering development away from the most dangerous locations. Hard-won lessons have made Pakistan more resilient, better prepared for life in a seismically active region. As we look back over the 20 years since that devastating morning, what stands out most is the unbreakable spirit of the people of northern Pakistan and Azad Kashmir. They endured unimaginable loss, yet faced the future with courage, dignity, and a profound sense of hope. Communities shattered by the earthquake rebuilt their homes and schools. They rebuilt their lives. The laughter of children is the most powerful testament to recovery. The bonds that sustain survival have only strengthened. Memorials ensure the lost are never forgotten, and remind us of a shared will to thrive. Children who survived are now young adults, doctors, engineers, teachers, determined to serve and safeguard their communities. They carry the lessons of the past into a new era of resilience and preparedness. The mountains still bear scars, and so do hearts, but the spirit is not broken. It is stronger, wiser, and more united than ever. In honoring those lost, the people chose to build a better future, brick by brick, day by day. Their resilience is an inspiration, and a message of hope that even after the darkest of days, the sun will rise again.